friends, yes, welcome back to Homecast once more to the final game 3 between 2-0 and Fresh. Winner, of course, of this final game advances on to tomorrow, loser bracket final to take on Sync Esports or Evil Corporation, whoever loses the winner bracket final, which we are about to cover here in, later on after this series today. But yeah, let's take a look at the blind bands as they follow. Fuzzy Slot, my co-caster for today, are you with me?
Yeah, dude, I'm ready for game 3 here.
You're ready for game 3. We talked a little bit how the drafts were gonna look, but hey, you know what? Not much of a surprise here. It's the exact same freaking heroes as in game number 1 and game number 2. I'm super excited. Freaking drafts.
First 2 heroes have been the same for all 3 games, so
I swear to God, these guys, they need some freaking variation. Well, the Parasite, of course, I mean, the Behemoth worked for 2-0 in game number 2. It didn't work, or the Parasite didn't work for Fresh in game number 2, however. So I would probably be a little bit more comfortable if I were in the Legion position. Nah, it probably doesn't matter. It was just a little bit of an unluck or misluck from Teltuk's side on the Parasite. Didn't quite get the momentum that he was looking for in game number 2. Obviously not too easy with the kind of setup that they had. Voodester now once more again. Another good counter versus the Parasite. We talked about that as well. The Cocktail, of course, stunning Parasite for 5 seconds when he's inside a creep. Works versus Puzzle Box as well. So it worked in game number 2, and there's the Moira as well. So both teams they're continuing the trend to pick the exact same heroes as they did in game number 2 and game number 1.
Definitely. I wouldn't be surprised if we see the Sandwich picked up by Busk here.
I swear to God, if he picks that up, I'm done. And there's the Warbeast, of course. These guys are freaking killing me. Like, where is the Ophelia? Where is the Clanks? Like, why are these teams not picking that up anymore? Like, if they leave the Clanks open once more until, like, the final pick, yeah, the Prisoner. Actually, at least gonna break the trend a little bit there. Of course, Slaskidird's probably the guy beside you as well, Fuzzy. You played the Prisoner quite some time, or quite a few times actually, for Complexity, of course. Lately, mostly, and it's been working out quite well for you guys. The hooks, they seem to be landing like 90% of the time, and Slaskidirt, yeah, he's also an excellent hooker, so I can definitely see this hero being successful. Now, question, what happens if you put the Shackle onto Warbeast when he is in Metamorphosis? It doesn't stop him in his tracks, does it?
Doesn't do anything, yeah. Just runs free, basically, so we'll have to see. See, normally when you pick up Prisoner, you want to pick it up to counter a certain hero. I don't see any heroes that really get countered by Prisoner on the Legion team, so I'm not sure if that was just a comfort pick or just, you know, kind of like we should play this hero because we've done well with it in the past. Or, we'll just have to wait and see, I guess. So.
Blind bands as they follow. There is not going to be a Zenref for Probusk in this game, at least, thank God. And then there is the Clanks ban as well. Actually, Legion team banning the Clanks this time. They're not going to pick it up for themselves, which is a little bit surprising. I guess they respect Hellborn lineup and feel like maybe the Clanks is a little bit too squishy. I don't know. Or why do you think that the Legion team was the one that banned the Clanks?
They could have a different hero in mind after seeing the picks from Hellborn, but I do think Clanks would have been a decent pick if they can get away with it again this game. So I'm not sure why they would have banned, or why they banned it. I think Hellborn would have banned it if they left it open. So it seems like kind of a waste to me, but yeah, I'm not sure about that. And I'm not sure what carry Probusk is looking to get here for himself.
Yeah, getting rid of the Gladiator as well, and then Pexo finishes it off with the Doctor or Pulsar, so none of those heroes. Parallax is available in tournament rules now, isn't he?
Yep.
And, well, I don't have too much experience with the hero, I'm afraid. Do you? Is he a viable choice now?
I've actually played him, I think, a couple games, a couple scrims and whatnot, and a couple of Haunt Tour games. But I think he's viable as long as you run him in the right lineup. He actually gets countered really hard by Prisoner. And one thing that I was going to point out is that Bubbles is the ultimate counter to Prisoner. I am so surprised that Boss could not ban that.
Oh,
because
damn.
now Bubbles is just going to go mid and have a great time against Prisoner in terms of not even being able to like get hooked in at all. So
yeah, that's true. That is definitely a mistake from the Hellborn side, not getting rid of that Bubbles, because it's true what you say. The Bubbles is so damn annoying to play versus if you're the prisoner. I know Slaskajurit agrees. I played with Slaska during Hunter Season 3, so and we used to pick up the prisoner for him at time to time, and he always like reminded us like, get rid of the freaking bubbles, like I don't want to go up versus that hero. And now they make that mistake here in the final game of all, versus 2-0 here in the loser bracket round of 1. So yeah, missing that opportunity to get rid of the bubbles, but hopefully there's something else to it. Lord Sulphur is once more, this time by 2-0. I do believe that it's been the Hellborn or Fresh that's been playing it for the first 2 games.
They picked it first 2, I believe. Yep, first 2.
So what is it about this hero that makes it so damn powerful? Because yeah, I don't know. It just seems like everyone's valuing Lord Sulphur for some reason nowadays.
I think it's mostly these teams that play it, but I don't think it's that good of a hero in the sense that it should be picked every game. I do think it's going to be a short lane farm Sulphurus. But Dark Lady being picked up here, Dark Lady is going to outcarry Warbeast and Sulphurus, I believe, unless they have a great start here.
I don't get why they picked up the Grinix though. Like, we didn't mention that. The
Yeah.
Grinix, by the way, on the table.
I'm not too sure about the Grinix. It's going to be a suicide Grinix, I believe, but that hero is kind of iffy in terms of how good it is and how well it is at setting up ganks in comparison to heroes such as Behe or Magmus as suicide heroes. But I guess we'll just have to see. I think different guy plays it.
He
quite a
does
bit.
every single but he had a period at least in TMM when he literally played Grinix all the time. That I think that's what he was known for back in the days, Grinix player. At least when he was in like Wake of Gods, that clan. But yeah, he definitely knows what he's doing. I do believe that he tends to pick up the Bulwark as his first item, like the Ghost Marchers into the Bulwark more or less, and just deal tons of physical damage. And he likes to be very active, mobile, run around. Sorry, my throat. Not used to talking too much. Or this much. Yeah. Yeah, the Grinix, like in this game in particular, especially when they have the Dark Lady, obviously that's the kind of hero that needs a couple of items before she can really like be useful in those team fights. He's going to need a shrunken head and all before they can actually like take on the Legion team in a real team fight versus a Shockwave and the Kelp field and all on the Legion side. It's just not going to be successful unless they get the shrunken head, and therefore the Hellborn team needs to buy so much time for this Dark Lady to farm that up. And I'm not sure if Grinix is the right choice for it. And even so, like, Dark Lady is usually dependent on having teammates that actually locks the enemy team down so that he can, pound in the out attacks. But in this game, like, they don't have any solid stuns. They have a prisoner hook, but if that prisoner hook fails, like, how are they going to initiate?
Yeah, once again, it's the same problem as game 2. They only had the Pharaoh hook and Center ulti to initiate. And if they don't hit their spells, if they don't get good initiations with those heroes, then it's going to cause a huge problem for Dark Lady in terms of trying to get to heroes such as Warbeast who have, haste speed throughout the team fight. So
we will just have to wait and see. At least it seems like none of the camps are blocked for either side at least. And of course, Warbeast here played by Scary. So he played the carry in game number 1, then he played the mid in game number 2, and now he plays the force in game number 3. Safe to say that 2-0 is really swapping up their lanes. Grinix is being chased. Not entirely sure, didn't catch the start of that, but what did he...
He tried to lane pull towards where the pull camp is, and then Pexu just pulled it right into the lane, or the other creeps to his own creeps, so doesn't really do much. In my opinion, it actually hurts different guy a little bit down here. So
yeah, going for the farming Sulphurus on top of things. I didn't really consider that during the draft, but any insight on that? Top lane, yeah.
Top lane, I
Behemoth in
believe
trouble.
he's gonna fall here. Charging Strike's
is.
still available. Yep, there it is.
Unfortunately,
Yep.
Leech was used as well by the Parasite, so he lost all the mana. Now he can't go into the jungle and take another creep and continue farming.
Yeah, I'm not sure why he starts boots in his own jungle, but it kind of slows him down a little bit.
Yeah, he did that in game number 2 as well. That was a little bit surprising, actually.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like something you should do. I mean, you can start boots if you think that they're gonna man up or block your camps, then it's all right to do that. But I'm not sure I agree with it in this case. But what was your question before?
Salfor is in the farming role. What's the reasoning behind that, or do you have any insight on that? Why would 2-0?
I think they wanted to put the War Beast jungle since they have the Behe Suicide, and then they just picked Self-Forest as a comfort hero. I think they like to play it a lot. They don't necessarily need the hardest carry, but I'm not sure if Self in the short lane was the best pick for them. But it does counter the Dark Lady pretty heavily in terms of, you know, being able to ult him, and if he does get those disable items such as Sheep Stick, then he will be able to shut down Dark Lady pretty effectively in the late game.
Yeah, safe to say. Meanwhile, Bubbles versus Prisoner, of course, going at it in the mid. So far, it's actually quite even. I'm surprised that Bubbles isn't able to put even more pressure onto Prisoner, as Laskadir is actually even in terms of last hits so far.
Yep.
13 to, well, 11 at least, so close to even. And
yeah, Bubbles is expected to come out on top in this lane. Prisoner can do alright still in terms of farm, but he's not going to be, you know, that big snowball hooking hero that's going to get so many kills in mid with rotations from his team, just because it is Bubbles and you can't gank that hero as Prisoner. It's just impossible.
that it is. It looks like different guy down here at the bottom has been able to get quite a lot of experience at least. He's level 4 already, so not bad at all. And getting a few last hits here as well. He's up to almost 200 gold per minute, which is quite good for a suicide this early on into the game. Mid lane, by the way, Prisoner actually almost getting a kill onto Bubbles. Might backfire though, because there is a lot of collapse here. Vudias, they're going to get the cocktail off. Parasite is here as well. Ah, yeah, it's going to be enough. They're going to
go for another kill, possibly.
Are they
I think Moira might go down with the illusions hitting him.
It should be enough. Yep. That's
wow. Good rotations from Cyrox and STST there.
That's such a good feeling as well if you're playing the support and you get a double tap this early on.
Yep, free boots, ward money, good levels. Yeah, just all out good rotation from them. And then a little overextension from Slaske trying to go for that kill, so.
That it was. It's going to backfire in the end, and now the golden experience is really damn even. Parasite 240 gold per minute, and then we got no wait, who's in the Legion Force? Warbeast, that's the one. Actually farming 320 gold per minute himself, obviously getting assist money for those 2 kills in the mid, thanks to the battle cry, as we see a hook right there attempt on Bubbles. But like, even if you hit the hook, and it's relatively easy, or it should be really easy for someone that's playing competitive at least, to take cover that hook, because it's really not that difficult to find or see that animation. But even if you hit the hook, you can simply just shell surf out of the shackle as well. So like, he might take 1 hit from the tower or something like that, of course, as well as the damage from the hook. But other than that, like, it's just, it doesn't really even matter if you hit the hook to a certain extent. So not a favorable matchup whatsoever. What can we expect now from Lord Salforus here down at the bottom? What kind of item? Actually, they're going to go on to Grinix. Do they have any dust? Yeah, they do. And it seems like he's going to go down as well. The cursed cocktail. Or not the cursed.
We do see a Prisoner rotating over, trying to get the kill on the Voodoo Jester here, but Voodoo does have boots. So
yeah, and he also got full vision, so it should be fine. Actually, they might
I think they're going to go for the kill on Prisoner here, yep.
That's going to be successful unless Laskadir can die from Kongor. Doesn't look like it.
Yep. Once again, good rotations coming out from 2-0.
Yeah, Legion team definitely making the rotations work, even when they have this very passive Warbeast in the forest. So, and of course Bubbles as well, not very offensive hero before he hits level 6, but 4 kills already. Definitely good news for them, seeing as, like, we talked about it, like, the Hellborn team, the 4 heroes, everyone except the Dark Lady needs to really, or they really need to buy a lot of time for Dark Lady if they want to win this game, and so far the laning phase is simply not working out very well for them.
Yeah, Busk is leading the GPM by, I believe, about like 55, so that's good news for them, but they really need to minimize as many deaths as they can on the Hellborn team here. Sulfuras items, I'm not sure what item he's going to go into first. I believe he's just going to finish up those boots and then possibly look to get like a tablet or maybe an earlier item just to try and help out in terms of fighting. But he does have a lot of build-up items, which I didn't really expect him to get, so.
Yep,
Bot tower
defensive
going
tower.
down.
Yeah, it's gonna go down. More is gonna port in with the illusion, but it's way too late. So I'm surprised that she even bothered running all the way down here. Simply because of that. If they're not gonna be looking to defend the tower, then it's really, oh my gosh, missed the kill up at the top. STSD goes down. Good pickup or pickoff, of course. Probusk, even higher gold per minute now, almost 500 gold per minute. Obviously, he was rewarded with the first blood, but still 500 gold per minute. I'm pretty sure that's perfect creep score as well. 51.
Yeah. Probably around there. As you can see, though, you have a Self-Force that is catching him in GPM. Oh, Bubble's getting caught mid lane.
Yeah, collapsed on top of him, and of course the Mana Sunder creating a lot of issues as always. I think it was a different guy that set that up with that Shadow Stalk of his, or Shadow Step of his.
I think they need to try and find Behe some farm here in the near future. It would be the key while Warbeast sets up some farm.
Yeah,
possibly
look at the top
Bubbles
lane here.
needs
If
to
they can get the
rotate.
Curse Ground off before the Fissure, then that would be... Nah, they are stuck in their stuns too much. That was
Warbeast
unfortunate.
is going to chase, but yeah, the Fissure, he needed to wait for it. He needed to let the Voodoo Jester lead there with the Acid Cocktail, or I like to call it Coconut. But
the coconut, yeah. The coconut, to be fair, was a little bit late, so I think they...
Yep.
Or, I mean, he ran out of the forest before he threw it, so that was probably why Behemoth felt the need to actually use the Fissure. So unfortunately, a little bit of miscommunication there from the two of them. And they're gonna overlap the stun and therefore fail or not be able to get the kill on the Dark Lady, which is such a high value kill at this point, like every
it's a
single
crucial
time.
kill to get, especially when he has such a great start. But as you can see, Warbeast and Self-Force are still keeping up with him, so...
That they sure are.
Got
450
a
gold
lane
per
ward
minute.
for Dark Lady now top. I'm not sure if they saw him play set. I don't believe they did, but...
Yeah, on the hill. That should be... providing Dark Lady with some vision at least. Of course, there is the Veiled Rot always. The threat of that one. Now when Behemoth got his Shockwave as well, but still far away from the pull key, of course.
I would really like to see the prioritize on the farm, though, on Behe. He really needs the PK in order to do something in this game.
Yeah, where would you want
he's
him to
really
be
been struggling.
taking the farm? Would you want him to take it over in the bubbles?
I think he should take the bot lane. I don't think Self-Force needs to farm the lane anymore. Self-Force can efficiently do like triple stack Ancients are really easy for him to do because he has the maxed Morse Charisma.
He actually ports back to the base, picks up...
And he is going tablet, I believe, it looks like.
It looks like it, yeah. And I'm not entirely sure if I agree with the tablet. I mean, it's a great item. I tend to get it on every single hero. It just feels like the possibilities are unlimited, more or less. The kind of things that you can do and save your teammates and all that stuff. But in this case, when you're farming 460 gold per minute, wouldn't something that boosts your farm or gives you a little bit more of that carry potential being maybe preferred almost?
It could be preferred in the sense that they want him to try and take over the game, but also the tablet's going to help him fight earlier on. And I think they want to use the Self-Force early on and just rely on the Warbeast into the late game with the supporting cast of the Bubbles and the Behemoth.
Yeah, now Pexu is wasting a lot of time as well, or I guess I shouldn't call it necessarily wasting, seeing as he did prevent the Dark Lady from getting any last hits, at least on the lane, but as we can see, Probusk now farming the forest instead, and Pexu is still stuck in the trees. If he wants to go out of there, of course he's going to be scouted by these creeps.
Yeah, I would really like to just see Behemoth rotate bottom and get a lane ward for him, and then he needs to farm that PK. That's probably the most crucial part of this game, and seeing as he is the main initiator for the Legion team. And if they want to take these early on fights, he needs that PK.
He certainly does. So far, a very passive game. Neither team really accomplishing too much. Both of them... of course, Legion is trying to make something happen, but Hellborn team with that ward, or with the lane ward, scouting out the Voodoo Jester, of course.
Yeah,
and
Parasite rotating over in the bot jungle.
with the Wild Hunter as well, might be able to find the bubbles in the mid, but he's got Steam Boots and a Major Totem, so that's not a very easy kill to get.
Yeah.
And the top lane, like, they were trying to push the tower, and I feel like they could have gotten it, and I would have preferred if they actually manned up and just, you know, committed to getting
I
this tier
believe
1
it's going to go
tower.
in deny range here. Yeah. and probably be a free to. Oh, yep, you got
Ah,
it. Thought he was gonna get it, but
that's like I don't get the reasoning for that because Slaskadir was in the mid and Grinix was in the bottom.
Yeah.
So oh, here we go.
oh,
Voodoo Jester
solo
actually
kill
gonna
from Voodoo Jester.
that's not going to be successful
I don't think he's
whatsoever.
gonna get it. No, no way. I could see it happening if he had, you know, maybe half health. The Dark Lady had half health, but
Yeah, that was greedy. Not entirely sure about that one. It's not going to be successful at least, and Probosk going to get enough gold for the Rune Dags as a result of that kill. So bad news. Bottom lane, Salforis, he got a tablet of command. There is a stun, the hook. Of course, he cannot tablet with the shackle applied. He's not even going to put on the shackle. I think he's just.
he did. Yeah, I don't. That was really weird. I think he kind of panicked. Pexu did.
Damn. Okay.
I think Pexu could have saved himself if he didn't panic with the tablet and then just ran away with the W. Because Life Tap does give a significant amount of movement speed to get away and break the prisoner ulti.
That's true.
So I think he could have actually lived there and turned that around with Behemoth.
50 movement speed indeed. Yeah, I guess he just assumed that he was shackled because obviously that's the normal response when you get hooked. You're going to, or it's going to be followed
They're
up
gonna
by
get
the shackle.
shackled like right away, yeah. So that's why I think he tableted himself like backwards or something. It was kind of awkward, but Probosk now is just gonna start clearing out the jungle. Parasite's gonna go to a lane with his, you know, his catapult once he gets one, and then just do his thing there. Top tower is gonna get denied here unless Parasite goes in for this.
Oh damn!
I'm
Not
not
sure if that's. Oh my God! He got
Oh wow.
the catapult.
Okay.
No, what?
I thought he got in the catapult, but I saw the animation, but he died.
Yeah.
He died instantly.
What the hell?
Wow. Alright, it could have been a really good play if he got that tower and got in the catapult, but
Yeah, that was close. Yeah,
once
I saw
again,
the
another
animation as
greedy
well.
play in the top lane, though. Greedy play in the top lane. Just
Where's the
Voodoo Jester,
replay?
same thing.
Bubbles, by the way, going for Void Talisman. I don't know. Is that?
I don't think that's it. I would have rather seen him get a tablet, although it's bad versus Prisoner. It's really good against Dark Lady. It saves you, you know, 90% of the time against the Dark Lady. It looks like Hellborn might be trying to set up here. They do have a DD rune on Grinix. Dark Lady is rotating over towards mid, but
Yeah, Legion team doesn't seem too interested in actually fulfilling that push. But yeah, the Void Talisman, I mean, I could definitely see Void Talisman after you have your tablet or your portal key.
PK.
Yeah, exactly. But now when Salforis especially went for the tablet as well, kind of indicating that he wants to take fights and be aggressive early on, I don't think that the defensive item on Bubbles is necessarily the optimal choice. But we will see. Perhaps it saves him out of some kind of dicey situation here. He's actually going to use the shells offensively as well. Really playing with fire there. If the Grinix would have been nearby, that could have been an easy kill.
I'm not sure what Self-Force is going to pick up here. Is he? I don't want to see a Void Talisman from him necessarily, but it does counter a lot of the heroes on the Hellborn side, including Prisoner and Parasite when he gets in that Mauler. But ooh, nice take cover by Zeph.
Yeah, that was really well played. The hook though gonna be successful. The cocktail.
Curse ground on 2.
This might be.
Robust did charge in.
He did, and he's out of mana now. It seems like nobody's going to fall. No, okay, actually,
Wow.
Behemoth. Was he? What? Where was he? He was at the. Oh, he was bottom. He got solo
I think he
killed
was
by
bot.
the
He got picked
Grenix.
off. Yep, the DD Grenix. Wow, Moira dies to the curse.
Damn, that was a really delayed kill as well. That must have been just in the nick of damage, so to speak.
Yeah, that was a really odd fight. It seemed like it was kind of in 2 spots. Bubbles kelped Parasite alone, and then Voodoo Jester is getting gone on by a couple people. It was kind of just all over the place, separated fight. But I'm not sure. Did the tower get denied?
No, or
No, it did not. It did not.
there was
So
one tower
Scary
denied.
actually got the tower.
But
Yeah,
that was
Scary
the
got
top.
the tower mid. So
Yeah, and he's farming 400 gold per minute, which is it's good. But if you look at Dark Lady at the same time, 560 gold per minute, that's just insane at this point.
soon to get his shrunken head here, which then will basically just cancel out 3 other heroes and just leave Warbeast and Self-Force against him. So Self-Force does pick up the Void Talisman though, which I'm not 100% sure that was the right item, but
Wait,
PK
who picked up
on
the Void
Bubbles
Talisman?
now. Lord Self-Force.
Another defensive item. Yeah, I don't feel it.
They
I
are looking for Dark Lady here. They might find him. Looks like they are going to if he waits for this hard camp here. Ooh.
Yes, you're going to be able to charge away. Oh my god, a plays from Probask right there. I didn't even take that into consideration, but that was really well played on his part.
Yeah, I think Voodoo just needed to be a little more ready, and if Voodoo got his stun off, I think he was dead there, but nice reaction by Probask there.
Absolutely, that was instant. Really, that charge. But I do agree, I mean, Voodoo probably would have been able to get the stun off as well if he were actually sitting on the button. Unfortunately not gonna happen.
Bubbles does go down. I believe he just used his shell to farm and then gets caught by the Grinex and then didn't pop his Void Talisman. I'm surprised that he didn't. But Moira being seen here, but
yeah, it doesn't. Yeah, these item pickups just doesn't speak to me whatsoever. And as we were talking about, you pointed out how like desperately Behemoth needs his farm, how desperately he needs that Polki, and they're just not prioritizing farm on him. Like he's just standing here in the mid lane. He's not even farming forest. I mean, the Jello camp, for example, is available. I mean, why don't you go over there and get some freaking farm instead of just standing at the mid tower, like literally running in circles? Like you need to speed this up. Like you cannot pick a Sulfuris and a Bubbles versus a Dark Lady that's farming 600 gold per minute, and you go 2 defensive Void Talismans. Like that's not going to work out.
Yeah, and once again, I think all the Behees that we've seen today being played, they don't max out heavyweight before Fissure. I'm actually a fan of maxing out heavyweight before Fissure. You do get more damage out of it once you get that PK, and if you're able to get on top of the targets that you're going for. It also helps a lot more when you're jungling. So he could be jungling for his farm, obviously, but instead he's prioritizing it on the Warbies, which I'm not too sure. I think he should just be like, hey, I need to farm, you know, this amount of money to get my PK, and then we can take fights. But obviously they're not doing that, so.
Yeah, nobody's farming this bot lane. Like there's so much farm is going to waste down here. Like nobody.
Yep. Sulfuris TPing in, but they do have Prisoner with PK rotating. There's 3 heroes down here.
Yeah, Void Talisman though on World Sulfuris. We need to remember that as well. There it is. It's popped.
There it is.
Oh, you can still jump? Oh yeah, Shadow Step. I guess it's not a physical ability then.
Where ulti miss is kelped. Prisoner is hasted though, so I don't think they're gonna get the catch here.
No, doesn't look like it, and Grinex should be able to run away as well. But I was actually a little bit surprised by that, the fact that you can actually Shadow Step the target that's Void Talisman. I assumed that that was a physical ability, but guess it's not.
Yeah, surprised, like, even though they got that turn kill on Moira, it's only a Moira, and it causes the rotation of their whole team, while Parasite and Dark Lady are just like, hey, I'm just gonna go farm top, we're gonna push it now, and
literally, that's the case. Yeah, I mean, Legion team is not going to win this game by trading towers whatsoever. Dark Lady is going to get out of control here in the near future, and I'm not kidding when I say that she's literally going to be able to just 1 versus 5 this entire team if this continues for like another 10 minutes or so. If she can remain 600, 700 gold per minute and get 2 more items, like, what's the Legion team gonna do? Like, there's literally nothing. I guess the Brutalizer could cause a little bit of trouble, the Sheepstick as well from Lord Sulfuris, but that's so far into the future. I don't think they're gonna be able to get to that point.
Yeah, and you see Behe closing on his PK here, but he really needs it. Grinex is gonna go on mid, and Behe's gonna drop.
Seems like Grinex pick is working out so far.
Yeah, I just think it goes back to the fact that Behe doesn't have his PK yet, and they haven't been. Has he used his Shockwave once this game? I think he used it once top, but other than that, I haven't seen it.
Nope, it's definitely not looking too good here for the Legion team. They're still farming 460 gold per minute on Lord Sulfuris, but why does that even matter at this point? I'm almost saying here, because Probask, yeah, 4-0-0, 600 plus gold per minute. It's just getting out of control here, and so far Legion team still no attempts whatsoever. They are waiting for the Polki onto Behemoth, but as soon as they get that, they desperately need to make their move.
Yep, and I think another one of the problems is that they can't really push the Parasite out of his catapult. Warbeast is actually alright at it, considering he can just send his wolves on the catapult, but other than that, Teltuk has just been in this top lane pushing it with the catapult, while Probusk has been farming the jungle out. So, good use of their jungle and then the Parasite, so.
Lord Salforus, as you can see, is running down here. So, Grenix is farming, but like, what can Salforus do? Like, he doesn't have a stun. They don't have anything to deal with this Grenix, which is, by the way, level 14 at this time. Compare that to the Behemoth, who's only level 9. Both of them the suicide heroes. And their farm isn't even remotely close at this point.
Yeah, I think Grenix is gonna go into a Shrunken Head here, if I'm not mistaken. It is basically, it counters 3 of the heroes on the Legion side, so we got an invis on Voodoo Jester. He's gonna scout out Dark Lady in the jungle. They're gonna go on him here, but he does have the Shrunken Head.
Well,
it looks like he's just gonna man up here.
The physical damage, the prison break, gonna be able to seal the deal, I think. Yeah, Bubble's gonna jump in as well, but he's just gonna put himself into a terrible position. But he was actually gonna jump in and get the kill. Yeah, they get the kill, but it comes to a cost. Wait, actually, never mind. They only died with 1 so far. They're gonna get a kill on Slaskidirt as well as Salforus joins the fight. Might have gone a little bit better than I expected for a Legion team. Bubbles now, Portal Key is gonna be able to use it to escape. He got it. Okay, nice.
Nice play, nice play. Yeah, I'm not sure where the puzzle box was that whole fight. I saw Parasite trying to help out Dark Lady, but I think the puzzle box was more towards the mid lane, like fighting against the. I'm not sure what hero that was. I think it was like Salforus. It was next to Salforus, but that was kind of odd to me that the puzzle box wasn't helping. And then Dark Lady, his BKB or Shrunken Head just wore off as the last Curse Ground ticked, which is why he died. So.
Oh, is that? Yeah, that goes through, doesn't it?
Yeah, it stays on, but yeah, that last tick of it actually
wait, hold your fall. Warby's in trouble now. Metamorphosis is up, and of course he's silenced by the face hog. Voodiester is here though, and so is Lord Salforus, so they might be able to get a return kill onto Parasite. The ultimate goes up on who did they hit? Oh, it actually did hit Parasite. It's just that he's so green that I didn't even see the animation go on. But they get the return kill there 1-on-1, so.
And as you can see, you got Salforus moving towards that sheep stick, which is just going to cause a huge problem for the Dark Lady here, unless Moira can get that Arcane Vortex off and save him.
There's the double damage down here as well. But Lord Salforus, I mean, this game at least, he's gonna follow your advice and go for that fast sheep stick rather than going for the Staff of the Master and the build-up items. So they're definitely going to have a really strong tool. Oh, Prisoner jumped in right in front of him. Might backfire. Slaskidirt is in a lot of trouble.
Well,
Arcane Vortex,
You see Grenix rotating over. He doesn't have any mana though, so I'm not sure what he has to offer. The hook missing.
That was almost lucky.
I think Prisoner is gonna fall though. The Salforus ulti and the Cursed Ground might be a little too much. Nope,
he's
50.
gonna be fine.
Power supply, yeah.
He's lucky that the hook didn't hit, because if it would, he would have been dead.
Yep. And all this time, Dark Lady's still farming. But going back to Moira trying to save the Dark Lady, the thing is, even if he does it while he is sheeped from the Salforus, once he does get that, the sheep is still on him when he comes out. It's more of a way to try and help him after the effect. It buys you time to counter initiate, is mainly what it's for. But if Dark Lady does get Salforus ulti, he's not gonna be able to do much. And if he has a Warbeast sitting on him and Prisoner cannot get the ulti up on the Warbeast, then I think Dark Lady will die fairly easy due to that. So
yeah, Storm Spirit is going to be the item choice of Bubbles here as he finishes that off, or finishes that up. Guess that could be useful in a few cases. I still feel like they should go a little bit more offensive items rather than defensive items, but
yeah, Bubbles has 2 defensive items already. Salforus has, in a sense, 2. Storm Spirit's alright, but I would have rather seen it like pick up after he goes like a sheep stick on Bubbles or Hellflower on Bubbles, because then he can also help semi-carry, and it just offers another disable for the Dark Lady. Dark Lady buying an Arcana.
Wait, what?
I'm not sure if he's trolling, but he just bought an Arcana, I think.
For what purpose?
Oh,
Shockwave, by the way, not gonna get the Hellflower or the Shrunken Head off quite yet, but Arcane Vortex, though, close by the hook as well. Unfortunately going to miss, but that is at least going to keep Probask alive for now. Might have to be careful, though. There goes the Lord Salforus ultimate as well. He's on the run. I do think that he's going to fall, just a matter of time. And in the background, Moira is gonna fall as well. So is Prisoner. Grenix now on the run. Is there any dust available? I don't think so, but 3 for 1 is still a trade the Legion team happily will take. And now they're going to put pressure on the secondary tower in the mid mid as well. What's going on? Is 2-0 actually making this work?
Yeah, I mean, great initiation by STSD, seen an opening to go on the Dark Lady when he went for the haste rune. Good follow-up. As you see, the Moira ulti came out, but wasn't enough to save him, just because of the fact that, you know, it doesn't take everything off. But as you see, they're going in for a fight here.
There's a buyback as well on Probusk. Dark Lady is up, not going to be able to catch anyone so far, though. Warbeast is probably going to fall. But that's a small price for a buyback this early on onto your Dark Lady. 2
buybacks, actually. Prisoner and Dark Lady bought back at that fight.
Oh, wow.
I'm not sure if I agree with that. Unless they get Congo out of this, I don't think it's worth it. And there's the Arcana he picked up. I'm not sure why he picked that up. I guess a Hellflower, or Harkons, I'd say, for all the Void Talismans.
Oh, yeah. I guess that's the reasoning. But is that really the best?
I wouldn't see that being picked up as your, you know, third item here. But they're going in here. Dark Lady getting gone on.
Oh, nice hook by Slaskador. Trying to save Probusk. Might not be enough, though. And he is going to fall. The Cursed Ground is simply too much damage. Grinix should probably be alright. Bubbles got the Storm Spirit and the Polky, but he's going to play it safe. Maybe he didn't have full vision.
He did have the Shrunken Head there, but once again, you see the Self-Forest ulti was on him, so he was going to die anyways, so he didn't use it. And there's no buyback on him right now, so I think Legion are going to try and push base here, knowing that they just bought back on their Prisoner and Dark Lady.
Yeah, most likely. They are putting a lot of pressure on. Warbeast level 16 as well. Got the Metamorphosis up and running. I don't know if the Hellborn team is going to be able to defend this. Sluskadurt is up now. Maybe if he can land a hook. He does it on the Warbeast. Oh, and there is a shockwave though. 2 people. Self-Force ultimate on Slask as well. I do think that they actually just did it. I don't want to call it too early, but if they get these racks, like they're in such a wonderful position all of a sudden. Dark Lady is still at level 20, but with that Arcana as well, I don't know if she's going to be able to carry.
Yeah, and they're just going to go right for bot. They know that they have no buybacks on the 2 heroes that they just took down. Parasite does have Puzzle Box to use. Yeah, I'm not sure. They're going to get this racks for free. It's going to be 2 racks in 28 minutes.
The game is just going to end, just like that. I felt like the Legion team was in a terrible position. But then all of a sudden, like, they're getting like 3 straight kills onto Dark Lady and just getting that sheep stick onto Lord Salforus, just and the Poliki on the Behemoth as well, like just completely flipped the tables. I'm not entirely sure, but Hellborn team, yes, they don't have any response. They are unable to save the Dark Lady in the team fights.
Yeah, I think what they needed this game was the sheep stick on the Self-Forest, and obviously STSD having huge initiations this game. Obviously just trying to get the Shockwave on the Dark Lady as his only target, which is worth it this game since he is the core hero. And beautiful follow-up from Pexu in most of these fights where he does get the sheep stick off. And then after that, he just gets the ulti on the Dark Lady, and he can't do anything. Like, Probus cannot do anything after that happens to him. So.
Yeah, the question is he gonna finish this Harkon's Blade now? I wonder.
Yeah, he bought the Arcana when he had like 3,500, so, you know, he had 2k after buying it, but then he used it on a buyback and hasn't really progressed in any items since then.
Yeah, no Abyssal Skull or anything like that either. No,
I'm not too sure I agree with the Arcana pickup though. I mean, sure, they do have the 4 now. 4 Void Talismans on
Moira might actually be in a little bit of trouble. Nice sidestep by Cyrex as well. Gonna dodge the hook. Are they going to be able to get the kill? Yep. Yeah, they are. Only Moira though, she's gonna be down for 30 seconds or so. Shouldn't be too much of a difference here. Unless Legion team actually commits to this Kongor kill.
Yep, gonna look for the Kongor here.
I'm not sure if I like this. It's a little bit risky, or I mean, it gives the Hellborn team at least an opportunity to take a team fight, but maybe.
Yeah, I think they know they have a decent advantage. They do have an illusion scouting the lane, breaking smokes if they did have any smoking in to the Kong pit. Prisoner is smoking around. It's not going to be in time though. I'm not sure if he's going to try and make a play here.
No, it doesn't look like the Hellborn team are in position to defend.
I think having this token, I would have rather seen the token on Self-Forest possibly, but seeing as Warbeast can be kind of useless if he doesn't have his ulti form when he respawns. But
yeah, that's a good point to make. I'm not entirely sure why they gave the token to Warbeast. Even having the token on like Behemoth or something, or Bubbles would probably have been better, because as you're talking about, like if Metamorphosis is down, the hero is useless in teamfights, so that's questionable indeed.
Puzzle Box is going to be down here too when they're trying to defend their base, which is a huge disadvantage for the Hellborn team, since that is basically what Parasite is at this point in the game.
Yeah, they cannot defend this. Probusk did pick up the Hargon's blade, by the way. He's smoked up as well.
Smoking. Yeah, I'm not sure. He seems like he's alone, so I don't know if he can go for any kills here or plays.
No, and he cannot be split pushing either because he doesn't have a port on him. At this point, he's gonna have to station himself in the base and hope for the best. Hope for the Legion team kind of overcommits a little bit, but if the Legion team is smart, they simply just wait for the bottom and the mid to push in.
And now that hook is down, oh, Grenek's going in here with the BKB.
On the Sulfuris though, questionable indeed, and now the Shrunken Head is down.
Popped, but Shrunken Head down on Grenek. Hook was down too on Prisoner, so he had no follow-up. Hook is gonna hit the Sulfuris.
Yeah, are they going to be able to do anything off them though? SDSD with the shockwave once more, gonna finish off the Parasite even before he can pop the puzzle box. No puzzle box up, and Warbeast with the Token of Life is not the kind of hero that you want to target.
Cocktail.
Yeah, the Dark Lady is gonna
down.
fall
No
once
buyback
more.
on Dark Lady. No.
Warbeast
They
is...
do still have 3 up though. Buyback on Sulfuris. He's gonna post haste in. Sulfuris is back in this fight.
Does he have the sheepstick? Yeah, he does have the sheepstick as well. Actually, never mind. The puzzle box was popped. Oh, never mind. That's the buyback from Teltuk. Now he's in trouble though, and meanwhile, Warbeast is just going to be able to pound.
They're going straight for the racks right now. Yep.
And that's going to be the Mega Creeps.
Warbeast. That's game.
That is indeed the game. It seems like 2-0 is going to be able to take it and move on to the loser bracket final tomorrow versus Sync Esports or Evil Corporation. Very surprising. As we both mentioned earlier on to the cast, we actually favored the Hellborn team fresh in this series, obviously because of the recent results last weekend, but also after that first game that they won in a very dominating fashion. 2-0 definitely gets their stuff together. They come back and make a very impressive game number 2 and a game number 3. Congratulations to them, definitely placing at least top 3 in cycle number 4. That's not bad at all.
Yep, and I think just the key for them was getting that Behe PK and then the Sheep, like I've said several times. Just that combination against the Dark Lady couldn't really do much. That last fight was actually a really good initiation. Sulfuris died initially, and then you saw the shockwave, beautiful shockwave from STST, like been doing that all game ever since he got that PK. But then Probus had no buyback after that, and then you saw the buybacks come out on Legion team post hasting in and then just going for the racks.
Absolutely, yeah, the fact that they didn't really have anything to save Probusk with in those team fights kind of was an issue. Farming 600 gold per minute but still being able, or